You're now tuning into
The Cover Gang.
What is going on, Cover Gang? It is me, Tyler Lowry, my co-host Justin Frith. We are here to go over all of the 4 o'clock games, the primetime games, Sunday night football, and Monday night football. If you haven't already, go back and look at all the 1 o'clock spreads we went over. Me and Justin disagreed on a couple, but for the most part, we are aligned. And if you have not watched the recap video, we went 8-5 last week, had a great week, both very profitable. So check that out. We are on the Bills tonight. We're recording Thursday, October 26th, before the game. We grabbed it at 8.5. It has moved to 10. So hopefully you listened to that video. And if you were on the Bills, you grabbed it early. Justin will read each game. We'll see if we agree. Tell you how much we're putting on each one.
That was a pretty good intro, man. That may have been your best one. Yeah, like you said, watch that early game. Early early games video, because it's a lot of good stuff in there. It's a long video, but it's a good one. We handicapped the games pretty well, I think. All right, but first up, Browns at the Seahawks. Early in the week, this number was 2.5, and now it is at 4, 3.5 or 4. Line movement heavy towards Seahawks, obviously. And the public is coming in pretty big on them as well, especially with Deshaun Watson ruled out. Where are you at on this one?
Yeah, I went back and forth with this one a little bit. You know, I am biased towards Cleveland because of how I've seen them in the preseason. I picked them to win their division. I said that they would have a top 5 defense. They still have the number 1 defense thus far. Defense scheme against Colts last week didn't look the best, but it is what it is. I think they bounced back this week. Myles Garrett, you gave him the props on the recap video that I've been asking you to do for maybe 2 years now. But yeah, it's, to me, the reason I go back and forth is Seattle they lost a turnover battle, I think like 3-0 last week against the Cardinals, gave the Cardinals every reason to stay in that game, every reason to cover, and Cardinals couldn't take advantage of it because Seattle's defense shut them out. And Seattle had 100 some yards more than the Bengals on the road 2 weeks prior, lost that game. And so they're playing better football than what their score is showing. But who are they playing? Like the Bengals, like, are they all the way back? I think so, maybe after this bye week. But at the time, 2 weeks ago, Joe still looked a little off. And, you know, the Cardinals, they've kind of plummeted to a certain extent. We'll go over that game here in a little bit too. So I am taking the Browns +4. Like I said, I'm a little subjective on it, but I just think this defense will be a problem for Geno Smith even on the road. And I don't know if they win outright, but Walker stepped in and he's made enough plays to keep this Browns team in games. So give me the +4. It's a regular unit play because I would much rather have Deshaun. I think Deshaun will be back next week. That'll be the storyline all next week because he's completely rolled out of this one. But yeah, it's regular unit.
Yeah,
+4.
I get it that Deshaun's out, and I mean 2.5 with the Seahawks. Like, I can see that maybe, but the line has just moved too far. There's a lot of value in that number at +4 with the Browns, who have had one of the toughest schedules so far, and they've lived up to that hype, even without a starting quarterback in most of these games. And the Seahawks, they haven't played anyone, despite their 4-2 record. Yeah, they beat the Lions. That was a letdown spot for the Lions. That was their best victory. But other than that, I mean, their last 4 matchups have been the Panthers, the Giants, the Bengals, and the Cardinals. And they barely cover against the Cardinals, like you said. And then against the Bengals, they were a bit unlucky. But Geno threw 2 interceptions in that game, and that was probably the difference maker. But yeah, like, there's a lot of value on the Browns +4. I feel like as far as the teams that the Seahawks been playing recently, there's just not the same caliber. And even with PJ Walker, like you said, I'm not worried because +4 with the Browns on the road, a lot of value in that. I'm taking it with confidence, double unit play for me. Second game, I've taken a backup quarterback with a double unit, so I don't know how that's going to turn out for me. So tune into the recap to see how that works.
Note on Seattle too is DK didn't play last week. I think he's cleared to play this week. But Kenneth Walker, the running back, he's dealing with injury, which they have a pretty decent backup, but he's questionable as of now. And I don't know if I didn't look at their injury report before we recorded, so I don't know if he practiced today or if he was limited practice or what. But he is he's going through an injury right now, so
He's on my fantasy
it's
team. I need to know. So go ahead and get that scoop. No, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, I don't know.
but yeah.
We need them to be a little bit more banged up, questionable. Great. +4, double unit for me. Next
Yep.
up, we got the Ravens at the Cardinals. I've been dead right fading the Cardinals the last 2 weeks. Pat my back. And the line movement in this one, it started at like 8.5, and now I think it's all the way to 9.5. What do you think of
Yep.
that?
Usually, like last week, the line before kickoffs, Cardinals went from like 7.5 to like 8.5, 9. Seattle still covered, but I don't know why it jumped from 8 to 9.5 today. I don't know what news came out or whatever, but no, it's a double unit play taking Cardinals at home. Uh, Lamar is great against NFC teams because they don't get to play him that often. You know, Cardinals starting defense gets to play Dobbs and he runs, but not like Lamar. I mean, he's a different animal, and he's looking like he. I think if the season ended right now, Lamar's MVP. I think right now they're ranked number one DVOA is what you told me earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But what have we
Ravens
seen happen to these number one ranked DVOA
well,
teams?
it's that combined with Lamar as a favorite usually is not, it's not the profitable side to take, and it's not the sharp side to take when he's a favorite, as well as I've seen the Ravens play down to competition. Like they got up for that Lions game, showed them like strutted their stuff at home. It's just a game like, oh, we're gonna beat the Cardinals, and they let the Cardinals stay around until late. But 9.5 is just too many points, so it is a W unit play. But I said I took Cardinals last week in the points. I wasn't as confident as I am this week, and Dobbs just, like I said, Seattle turned the ball over 3 times, and he couldn't even get a field goal out. I think the field goal kicker, Prater or whatever, shanked one, but I don't know. It's Cardinals. They got some bad beats last week, but yeah, I feel pretty good. But at the 9.5.
Yeah, the Cardinals are who we thought they were. But and it's a big but. They're catching 9.5 points, and that's just insane. Like I get if it were 8, I get it, but I mean it just keeps on going up. And at some point we have to buy the Cardinals low, and this is a great spot after the Ravens just obliterated the Lions. Public perception is that the Ravens are now the Super Bowl favorites or something like that. So we're gonna take the Cardinals. Of course, it's ugly, but it's about a unit and a half play for me right here. I'm a little worried just because they're still without James Conner, and like they don't have. I think Ertz might be a little banged up too, so we don't know if he'll play full game or what. But it's just too many points, and like you said, this is a let off the gas spot for them. The Ravens have been cruising over teams. Here's a let off the gas spot against an awful Cardinals team. So we're hoping that if they win, the Ravens win, it's just by a touchdown, and we get that cover. Next up, we got the Bengals at the 49ers. Bengals coming off some rest. 49ers coming off that loss in Monday Night Football to the Vikings. Brock Purdy has been placed in concussion protocol midway through this week, so that means Sam Darnold is getting the start. The line moved accordingly from 5.5 down to 3.5, and it was even at 3 for a little bit today, but now it's back at 3.5 and 4. Where are you at on this one?
Yeah, I'm taking it's the public side. People think that the Bengals are still one of the best AFC teams. I'm not there. I'm not quite there with them, but I do think this bye does help Joe Burrow get rested up. The Bengals defense has kind of sneakily played really good all year, and they're the reason that they got back to 500. And it does seem like it should be a 49ers bounce back spot, but they're still without Debo. Uh, Cincinnati's been good against the run all year pretty much. So
this is the
I am
game.
taking.
I will say this just for fun. Like Christian McCaffrey, if he gets a touchdown this game, he ties the record for the longest streak of touchdowns in games. But it's almost like these last 2 weeks, like is that all they're focusing on? like I mean, it's a part. It's kind of like the Russell Westbrook thing, the triple double thing. It's like they're not winning the games, but they're just like get Christian McCaffrey a touchdown so he can break that record. Like I don't know.
Yeah, but that's like the Thunder were like maybe trying to make a playoffs. Like this San Francisco team, before these
Right,
last 2 weeks,
but it's
were
just
like, they're
odd.
definitely the best team in. Yeah, McCaffrey's a dog though.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I think he got 2 touchdowns last game.
But yeah, I mean, I expect him to get a touchdown this game. But yeah, like when this was down at
I
minus
just
three,
to me it's Darnold is not so. I think this is a little bit off script as far as this game, but stay with me here. Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan love Kirk Cousins. Why do they love Kirk Cousins? He is great in their system. He's very coachable, very can just plug and chug, learn the playbook quickly, and a lot of people think that the 49ers, because Brock Purdy's not the answer, they should pursue Kirk Cousins because they're not going to have a good enough draft spot to get one of these good quarterbacks coming in. But anyways, Brock Purdy even and Jimmy Garoppolo are more of like the play action, not mobile enough to. They're accurate in the mid range, like middle of the field throws. Like it's rhythm. That's not Sam Darnold's strength. Like he's more of like a ad lib. He's more of a mobile quarterback. He's not the most accurate thrower of the football. So I think that if the Bengals can stop the run a little bit, and if they get up, I told you this statistic before we went on air. Kyle Shanahan, as a coach, he is 1-36. If at any point in the fourth quarter his team is trailing by 5 or more points, 0-36 if they trail by 8 or more. So he creates a good scheme. They usually get up early, beat you down with the run. But Joey B coming off a bye, having his Higgins back, all the weapons are available. If they get up in the second half, especially the fourth quarter, 49ers are in trouble again of losing 3 straight. So the 4 is key here. If you grabbed it early in the week at 5.5, more power to you. But yeah. It's a regular unit play. I don't feel confident enough to do double because I could see a bounce back 49er game and Sam Darnold just going out there and having one game that's really good. But
that's what I hate about it is like when it was at the 3, I was like, I knew where I was at. I was like, it is the public side to be on the Bengals as road dogs, but it's like, it's back at 4. I mean, it's just too much value on the underdog Bengals team where Joe Burrow as a dog, insane against the spread cover rate. And the last version of Joe Burrow that we've seen looks better. It's not like last season, but it's definitely brings some of that spunk back to that offense. And I think this is a good chance for them to shine when everyone's, counting them out and they're +4 coming on the road against the 49ers who look, like a juggernaut. But there's key injuries on that 49ers team, and it's bit me in the butt last 2 weeks taking them. So I'll just take the value in the smarter side, which is the Bengals +4, even when it is the public side.
Agreed.
Next up, we got the Chiefs at the Broncos. Feels like these two teams just played in Thursday Night Football, and we had one of the worst bad beats of the year, not covering by half a point when they lose by 11. Here they are catching 7.5 at home in a matchup versus the Chiefs that they haven't won outright in almost 10 years. Where are you at on this one?
Yeah, this is a double unit play, easy play. Broncos +7.5 at home. Second time seeing each other division game. Broncos are, I wouldn't say it was an impressive win at home against the Packers last week, but I think it's more of an overreaction to what the Chiefs and Mahomes' stats against a bad Charger defense last week is what's inflated this line above a touchdown. I think it should be set at 6.5, 7. So I'm getting more than that. So that's why I'm double unit in here. But I think that Nick Bolton, linebacker for Chiefs, is out. He picked Russell Wilson off a couple weeks ago, and last year in particular, both times these two teams played, it was close. Chiefs edged them out both times, but and historically, Patrick Mahomes is not the best when he's over a 4-point favorite. So yeah, divisional dog. People are still don't, even though they just beat the Packers. It's not like people are believers in this Broncos team, even though the defense is playing a little bit better these past couple weeks. And Chiefs being down a key defensive player just because they re-signed MVS from the Jets. It's not like their receiving core is fixed. They just played, they routed the Bears, and then the next week they show up against the Jets and they play actual defense, and that's what happens. So, and like I said, I think Broncos defense is kind of turning around here in the past few weeks. So, I'm not. I could see this being the upset of the week. Is Denver winning outright? Kind of shocking Kansas City.
That would be awesome.
Because Kansas City has two. They play Philadelphia and I think it might be Cincinnati. It's either Cincinnati or Buffalo the next 2 weeks. So kind of a look. They're looking over the Broncos like we just beat them by 11.
I like that
type of game too. So yeah, Broncos definitely the sharp side plus 7.5 W in play.
Yeah, for all the reasons that you said, I'm also coming in on the Broncos plus 7.5. And their run game, when they've gave it to Javonte, they're looking like a more dynamic team, and the defense, like you said, is starting to play a little bit better. And that's what we were asking. We were like, if the defense does anything, this team should be covering these numbers. But now we're getting some value with a little bit of a turnaround in this Broncos team potentially, and that's what we're betting on. So. I don't feel as disgusted as taking them as I do the Panthers or anything like that. So that is one good sign because no more PvP stuff. Yeah, we got to break that curse. So take the Broncos here.
Regular unit.
Yeah, regular unit play. Just because, yeah, I mean, they should cover this. I want to see it, though. I got to see it first.
Did you double down on the Cardinals?
I did 1.5 units on the Cardinals.
Oh,
my only 2-unit plays this week are those backup quarterbacks. Yeah, that's disgusting. What am I doing? All right, next up, we got the Bears at the Chargers. This number is huge, and I don't know why. We talked about this off the air, and we both made this game a 6.5-point game, but for some reason, it's 8.5 all week, and it even is touching 9 now. What's going on with this one? I don't know. Do you have a read on this?
Somehow the Chargers are probably going to cover this, but I have a problem. I have a problem with Vegas on what they're doing with a Brandon Staley-led Charger team. I don't care. Eberflus, is bad. Just saying that Matt Eberflus, and then this Tyson kid. I hope he goes in there and knocks Brandon Staley out, Mike Tyson wise. What is this line? How am I not going to take the points? What has this Chargers team shown at all under Brandon Staley that they should be 9-point favorites?
Yeah,
exactly. I know it's the Bears and the Bears defense, but the Bears are able to run the ball. Chargers can't stop the run, pass, nothing. Their defense is just as bad this year under a defensive coach, Brandon Staley. I hope the Bears win outright and they get him out of the building and they get Justin Herbert a decent coach. That would be, and that's probably what he hopes for too. So Justin Herbert, go out there, throw the game, let us make some money off of it, and you'll probably end up making the playoffs if you just get Staley out of the building. Just get him out.
Right.
So this number is unbelievable. I just don't understand it so much that I'm almost wanting to put only a half unit on it.
It feels like we're walking into it, doesn't it? It feels like we're just walking into it like a trap. Why do they?
Yeah, it feels like Chargers are going to blow them out for some reason. And
I know.
They're going to be stuck with Staley until the end of the year. But that's the worst thing that could happen for this team, honestly.
Is it because it's the Bears in a night game? But Justin Herbert's not good in the second half of night games. He always blows it when that pressure's on him. So I don't know what's going on.
Maybe it's the Sharps or Vegas is thinking a week of tape on this Tyson kid. He didn't play that good, and they still blew out the Raiders. But the run game looked really well. And the defense is playing better than at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
We make this 6.5, and for that reason, we have to take the Bears here. I can't explain it either, but I just hope we're not walking into it with this one.
I'm gonna put a regular unit on it.
Me too.
Screw Brandon Staley.
I'm putting a regular unit for sure. All right, next up and last up, we got Raiders at the Lions in Monday Night Football. It's an extreme public side in the Lions, catching 90% We had a game last week that me and you disagreed on that a team was catching 90% of the bets, and you tell me it's sharp, and I went with the 90%, and I got killed and lost better of the week because of it. So where are we at in this one?
Are you gonna do it? You gonna make the mistake again?
Dude, if this was Jimmy G, like, and we knew it, I'm sure the number wouldn't be where it's at. But like, honestly, if it's Brian Hoyer, bro, like, we might be toast. Like, it does feel like a Dan Campbell, like, just after last game, like, he got those boys fired
why
up.
it's receiving 90-some% of the
I
bets.
know that. But it's like, if it's Jimmy G, and that's the reason I have to take the Raiders, because there is a chance that Jimmy G just, like, pops in, and we get some massive closing line value, like, by, like, 2 points, I would say, at least. And, like, that would be amazing. That's what I'm hoping for, so I will take the Raiders. Is it 8.5? I don't know. You go on your rant about this game, and I'll just look real quick.
I've hit it at I hit it at 8 earlier. I think it was yesterday. I haven't seen it touch 8.5, and I've been looking pretty consistently. So
no, it's 8.5 on MGM. Yeah, plus 8.5 Raiders.
So
you better
for the contest we get 8.5. That's good. But yeah, I've already hit it at 8 once. But yeah, no, I like the Raiders here. Regular unit play just because that's what I do. Like, yeah, you can load up, and I got screwed by it before. Like, the Dolphins were in that 90% range against the Panthers. I took Panthers,
the 49ers and the Giants. I just had to remind you. That was another one. Thursday.
I don't know if that one was quite 90%.
Was. Thursday Night Football, it was 90% coming in on the 49. I can see it like the back of my hand.
Yeah, the public, they may get crushed so much that this is just their little saving grace to come back and start betting next week is like the Lions just blow the Raiders out. But no, I can't be on the side of that many tickets coming in. And so I think the line's honestly set where it should be. So, I'm putting a half unit on it. I've hit it at 8. I'm not. Yeah,
if it's Brian Hoyer, bro, like
I want Garoppolo.
Yeah,
I need
me
Garoppolo to play, and I need Devontae Adams to expose the secondary that's looking a little bit worse. I mean, Lamar threw all over him last week. So, but Jared Goff's back at home. That's where he shines. Raiders defense just got blown out. It's just feels like a little bit of an overreaction. Everybody's expecting a bounce back from the line, so you got to take Raiders.
Yep. And for all those reasons that you said, we're on the island. We're on that 10% island. Gotta love it. Going into Monday night. All right, tune into our recap video to see how we did on this Sunday slate and the Monday Night Football, and we will know who is the better of the week, likely, because we disagreed on 2 in the 1 o'clock slate. So, yeah, we'll know. Like the video if you enjoyed the content. Comment below who you think wins better of the week. Tyler is up on me 4-2 right now. We had 1 tie this year. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck betting week 8. Remember, the books are out on the public. The public, don't be on that side. Be wary this week. Take a lot of underdogs. Take the points. Take the value. Cover Gang checking out. Peace.
Peace.